Spurs fans, if Jalen Duren is available, the number 9 pick should our San Antonio Spurs draft him. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Figured it was time to finally do a video on Jalen Duren. As our Spurs community here at TSR Sports, we seem split pretty much down the middle. Half of you would love to have him on the team. Half of you don't want us to go anywhere near him. And I'm going to drop my 2 cents down below on this wonderful article that I found from a Portland Trailblazers website called BlazersEdge.com. We're going to talk about his strengths, his weaknesses, how he fits in, his X factor, practice. We're going to be talking about all that today. While I'm doing so, drop a comment down below. Your thoughts? Do you want him? Do you not want him? What do you like about him? What don't you like? Hit that thumbs up if you like to support a fellow Spurs channel and subscribe for more Spurs content. Quick asterisk. I'll talk about where I've been and why I've been missing the last few days and haven't doing a lot of Spurs content, which I plan on doing with the draft about 3 weeks away. Anyway, let's get into it. Who is his daddy and what does he do? Well, that's not actually what we're here to answer, but he's 6'11", a 250-pound center out of Memphis. What a wingspan of 7'5". Okay, projected draft range is 7 to 12. That's where our Spurs fit. Boom, shakalaka, right smack down in the middle, smack dab down, dead-do at number 9. So he could very well be available. Some of you think there's no chance he'll be available. There's always a chance. You never know what's going to happen in a draft. Take a look at the recent NFL draft as players that were mocked to go in the first round wound up in the third round. So that being said, let's get into Jalen. He's a powerful athlete in the paint on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he's a dynamic finisher, and a lot of you know that. A lot of you have said he's just a dunker. Okay, fine. He's excellent at tracking lob passes, and he can corral the ball with just his right hand when he rises up for a thunder dunk of justice. In pick and roll actions, he is a huge target. He gets downhill quickly after setting picks, and if opposing defenses hesitate at all, he's in a position for a highlight-worthy finish. And at the rim, he converted 74.3% of his attempts. Moving right along, he's shown flashes of getting others involved as well on the short roll, plays with his head up, which always allows him to make quick decision when he receives the ball, and he's a fluid runner in transition. Now, he's not just an offensive player dunking the ball left and right. He's a two-way player and has a lot of defensive upside, and he would be our most athletic center since the Admiral, my man, David Robinson. That 7'5" wingspan, an incredible quick and bouncy for a player of his stature, and he's an expert at sliding position for blocks. So what we're saying is when he's in the paint and if a player's coming in there, you better watch out because you might get blocked into this stance. His leaping ability allows him to stifle shots from across the key and on trailing moves. So there's a fast break. He might catch up on that fast break and also throw out a block. And he's also, and this is a big one, Spurs fan, I want to focus on this one, among the best rebounders in the entire class. What's one thing we're all saying when we're watching the Spurs? We're getting crushed on the rebounds. Jakob Poeltl is one of the best offensive rebounders. Defensive rebounding maybe leaves a little lack to be desired. That could be because of the team being out of position, whatever. That being said, we don't have anybody that averages 10-plus rebounds per game, and he could definitely be that guy. Even when Duren is out of position, he's able to overpower his opponents. He's a force in the paint, and that's what we have. I like Jakob Poeltl. Would you say he's a force in the paint? No, you would not. And from what I've read about Jalen Duren, his body type is NBA ready, only at 18, so he could still, get bigger and let's move right along to his weaknesses because he does have weaknesses. His offense is completely paint dependent, as we talked about. He attempted 236 shots last season, Spurs fan, and 184 of them came inside the paint. He connected on just about 33% of the 52 shots he attempted outside of that area. Okay, so that's a weakness. Just a dunker, yep. Is he going to stretch the floor? Nope. Our current starter, Jakob Poeltl, he doesn't stretch the floor either. But again, he's only 18. Chip Engelland is still at the Spurs. Maybe he could help develop a mid-range shot, maybe a three-point shot. I don't know. He is still very young. He's 18 and would be 18 when the season starts. In the post, Duren's game is built almost exclusively on power. So thinking Shaquille O'Neal there. No, not the Shaq, but, power. Come on. He was 7'3" and plus pounds. Power. He settles for low percentage looks, and his initial attack is stopped. When he isn't running towards the rim, his low post offense is limited to face-up attempts. His back-to-the-basket offense is underdeveloped. Well, that could be due to his age as well. Defensively, Duren definitely hunts for block shots. He too often overcommits on pump fakes, and we saw that. That was one of the things I saw a criticism on Devin Vassell is sometimes he commits to the pump fake, gets himself up in the air, and leaving his defender or the offensive player open or committing a foul. His quest for blocks can also leave him out of position when he is off the ball. Due to his aggressive style, Duren often finds himself teetering on the verge of foul trouble. That is a concern. foul trouble is concerned, you could be the best player in the world, but if you have 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes, you're not helping the team. Unfortunately, our current center is a player that has also struggled with foul trouble. So we're not really getting an upgrade there. We're not really getting a downgrade there. That's just going to be something that we might have to deal with if we draft him. Anyway, moving right along. He earned the AAC Rookie of the Year award and a spot on the All-AAC first team. So his overall assessment, here's what they have to say. He has a frame that is already built for the next level. He also has the athleticism to hold his own against NBA competition. If he lands in the right situation, he could find minutes as a pick-and-roll finisher immediately. Judging by his college production, it could take him time for him to develop other aspects of his offensive game. Here's what I'm going to get my 2 cents in. Let's get this picture of him. I think that's a great picture. He must have just probably dunked the ball. If he came to the Spurs, I've already mentioned he would be our most athletic center since the Admiral. He would immediately become our best rim finisher. We've seen Kelman dunk at times. We've seen Devin, Primo, DeJounte, but he would immediately become our best rim finisher. I do think he would become our best rebounder if the minutes were there, and potentially our best shot blocker. And while his free throw percentage was at 63% in college, that's still a big step up from Jakob Poeltl. Of course, things change when you go from college to the NBA. You could all of a sudden be in the spotlight and shoot worse, maybe shoot better. Maybe Chip can help him out there. I don't know. Jakob Poeltl's free throw shooting has been kind of up and down. And if Jalen Duren was to come to the Spurs, maybe he starts right away, or maybe he's our primary backup center behind Jakob Poeltl. And of course, if Jalen does come to the Spurs, this is Jakob Poeltl's last year. And I'm mixed with Jakob Poeltl because I do like him and I am rooting for him. Might sound like I'm putting down in this video. Absolutely rooting for him. He has been terrific, fantastic for the current track that he is on. But his contract is about to expire and he's going to be wanting a raise, and deservedly so. The question I have, Spurs fans, did Jakob Poeltl peak this season? Is that what we're, the absolute most we can get at Jakob Poeltl? What we got at him was damn good. Don't get me wrong. But is that his peak? 12, 13 points per game, about 9 rebounds, close to 2 blocks. Is that the ceiling for Jakob Poeltl? And I think it is because he just has very limited offense. And look, guys, girls, it's not all about dunking, but we've all watched Spurs games, and at some point you'll dunk the ball to Jakob Poeltl, and he would miss a layup or a little jump shot at the rim. The dunk is the highest percentage shot in the NBA, and it also brings the X factor. And this is the other reason I would be excited if the Spurs, and he was available at 9. Just put it out there right now. I'm all in. I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it. The X factor. Highlight real plays, which I think he will bring, attracts attention. It brings in viewers, which equates to actual TV time. It brings in new fans, which means more revenue to the team. With all due respect, none of our current 3 centers, unless you're a Spurs fan, are going to really bring in new fans, new viewers. Yeah, maybe we got some Australian viewers because of Jacques Landale, whose name I remembered. But maybe Portland Trailblazers tune in to see how Zach Collins is doing. But we don't have that guy at the center position that makes people say, hey, I want to see what the Spurs are doing. And this kid's, I've seen him on ESPN 2 or 3 times a week. Yes, ESPN would probably acknowledge this if he's getting there dunking, knocking somebody down or breaking him. Probably not going to break a backward. You get what I'm saying? Just bringing excitement. And when you think the San Antonio Spurs, a lot of people think not flashy, especially because of the Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker era. They were such a great defensive team. Our team was labeled boring. Let's be honest. They were labeled boring. Probably one of the reasons we're not getting TV time now. We're losing and considered boring. But maybe it's time to change our way of thinking. I mentioned them earlier. Kelvin, Devin, Primo have all shown excellent ways to finish at the rim and have made top 10 highlights on ESPN. And in Jalen Duren, this could be a very exciting team to watch. That could win some games as well. What is his ceiling? I have no idea. I really don't. But if he's athletic as what I'm reading and what I saw in some highlights and able to finish the way he does, in a few years, maybe 2 years, who knows, maybe right away, 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. We haven't seen that kind of production really since Timmy and David. Does he have a really high ceiling? Could he be 25 points per game, 15 rebounds? I've seen some people compare him a little bit to Dwight Howard. And if we can take prime Dwight Howard, those type of statistics when he was doing 20, 12, and 3 blocks a game, I would take that for our starting center. And as much as Jakob Poeltl, that 13-9-2, I mean, come on, Spurs fans, 13-9-2 or 20-15-3. And granted, this is all just, me throwing numbers out. He could get drafted by the Spurs and be a dud. We've seen it. We drafted duds. We drafted a sandwich. We drafted a sandwich. And of course, being the Spurs, if he's available at number 9, for some reason, there's a chance. There's a legit chance the Spurs are going to draft some guy you've never heard of, and we're going to sit there and go, what happened? Jalen Duren was available, and we didn't take him. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to do more of these draft profiles with players that have a legit shot of the Spurs drafting. I'm not going to do a draft profile on Chet Holmgren or Paul Bancaro or Jabari Smith Jr. They are not going to be available by the time we get to number 9. Now, if the Spurs end up trading up, there's been talk the Rockets are looking to trade their number 3 pick. From what I'm reading, we'd have to give up Keldon Johnson or Devin Vassell plus a first-round pick plus another first-round pick, and I'm not sure I'm ready to give up on either of those players yet. Actually, I'm not. I'm really not. I'd be close. I'd be very happy if the Spurs picked him at number 9. I would. I just would. You know what? Yeah, I think he has a lot of upside. He seems to be an exciting player, and it would probably help my channel too. Let's be honest. A really exciting rim finisher is going to attract viewers for my channel too. So I think it'd be a win-win-win for the team, for me, for the fans, etc. So we'll see what happens. That being said, I want to close. I mentioned just if you're still here, I mentioned I had been out with a medical issue. I had an infection, and it really knocked me out. It's made me miserable for a few days. I went and got a prescription, and the prescription was called Cipro, and I wish I did a little more research on it. There were a lot of warnings. I figured that's probably for the 0.00002% people that have side effects. And I got hit with the side effects after 2 pills, my friends. Tuesday of this week, I could not walk. The drug side effect is it could affect your tendons. I could not put weight bearing on my ankles. They were weak, painful. I am recovering slowly but surely, but right now that means no basketball for TSR. I might not play basketball again this year. Seriously, the effects can last for months, and weak ankles could equate to a Achilles tear, which I do not want because that is a long recovery. So I'm going to take it easy. As I get better, maybe I'll bring biking back into the mix. Might focus more on upper body stuff, but it really knocked me out and made me miserable the last few days, and I couldn't move around. Tuesday was a nightmare. I literally felt like I went from age 44 to 88 during the same day. So that's why I haven't been doing much content. I obviously feel much better. I'm in good spirits and at least able to walk around, a little pain here and there, but it is getting better slowly but surely, and I'll never take that drug again. And if you ever get prescribed ciprofloxacin, or whatever, ask for something different. It's your right. Ask for something different. That being said, I'm going to start trying to do a heck of a lot more of these videos. There's a lot of players that we possibly could get at number 9. Johnny Davis has been mocked to us a lot. I think I want to talk about him next because I don't know a lot about him. Who's the other guy the guy's got the Spursy kid. Saran? First name. Oh, well. Jeremy Saran? Jeremy's you know what I'm talking about. I'll be doing a lot of these type of videos moving forward, and Kai Soto's a player you guys keep talking about in the second round. I'll probably do a video on him just because you bring it up in every draft video I do. So I'm rambling. You stayed this long. Thank you for listening to me complaining about my personal life, da-da-da. But that's enough of that. I'm back, and I'm glad to be back, and can't wait till June 23rd to find out who we draft. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, go Spurs, go!